I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me.
Our story starts on the mean streets of Brownsville, Brooklyn in the mid-1960s, an impoverished, high-crime neighborhood. This is where a young Mike Tyson grew up in a modest apartment, and life definitely wasn't easy. He was often bullied and mocked for his lisp and shy demeanor. To make matters worse, Mike's father abandoned the family when he was just 2 years old, leaving his mother to raise him alone. As Mike put it, he never had a normal childhood, but he found solace in raising pigeons on rooftops, something he excelled at. Do you want to learn how raw talent and determination can help someone rise from poverty to worldwide fame? Well, get ready, because in this video, we're revealing the incredible underdog story of Mike Tyson, the bullied kid who grew up to become heavyweight boxing's youngest ever world champion. The tragic childhood that fueled a fighter. Long before he was known as Iron Mike, a ferocious world champion boxer, young Mike Tyson endured unimaginable tragedy and hardship. By examining his painful past, we gain insight into the origins of his legendary tenacity. Mike's childhood in the dangerous Brownsville neighborhood of Brooklyn was far from stable. When Mike was just 2 years old, his father abandoned the family, leaving his mother Lorna to raise 3 children alone. As Mike later reflected, he never saw his mother happy with him and proud of him for doing something. She only knew him as being a wild kid running the streets, coming home with new clothes that she knew he didn't pay for. He never got a chance to talk to her or know about her. However, the streets were calling him early on. By age 11, Mike had been arrested over 30 times for things like robbery and assault. He was fast heading down the path to ruin. But fate intervened when a young Mike discovered boxing at a community youth center. He fell in love with the discipline and science of the sweet science. Tyson saw boxing as his ticket out of poverty and crime, losing his guiding light. But before that, Mike's journey was extremely painful. The pain only intensified when Mike's mother passed away when he was 16. 4 years later, his sister tragically died at 24. Losing these guiding lights left deep scars on Mike's psyche. He acted out, getting arrested 38 times by age 13 for petty crimes and fighting. But who could blame a grieving boy for lashing out? Underneath, Mike yearned for stability. As he put it, professionally, it has no effect, but it's crushing emotionally and personally. Despite life knocking him down early, Mike possessed inner reserves of resilience and untamed talent. When destiny came calling, he answered, discovering his yearning. In his wild youth, Mike frequently brawled on the streets of Brownsville, developing early boxing skills out of necessity. But that raw talent alone couldn't save him from ruin. Fate intervened when 13-year-old Mike was sent to a reform school in upstate New York. There, trainer Bobby Stewart spotted Mike's potential and introduced him to legendary coach Cus D'Amato. Cus became Mike's manager and an adopted father figure, molding the wayward teen into a fighter. Mike later said Cus was the only person in his life who hasn't stabbed him in the back. Mike devoured books and films about historic fighters to complement the training. He worked out constantly, determined to perfect his aggressive peekaboo fighting style based on speed, head movement, and devastating punching power. Hard work paid off, and 18-year-old Mike Tyson conquered the Junior Olympic Games, racking up knockout after knockout. With Cus's encouragement, Mike soon turned pro and began his meteoric rise up the heavyweight ranks. When trainer Cus D'Amato first discovered 13-year-old Mike, he knew the raw potential was there, despite Mike's short stature and lack of boxing experience. What Mike needed was rigorous training and someone to channel his intensity. Rising phenom. In 1985, a focused and refined Mike Tyson turned pro and began bulldozing his way through the heavyweight ranks. Behind his intimidating glare, dynamite fists, and bobbing head movements, few could withstand Mike's onslaught. Winning his first 19 pro fights by knockout, the boxing world took notice of this 5'10" wrecking ball. By age 20, Mike earned his first world title, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion ever. This broke a record that had stood for over 100 years. Mike put the division on notice. He was demolishing anyone in his path, veterans like Larry Holmes falling in under 5 rounds. In 1986, 20-year-old Mike Tyson defeated Trevor Berbick to become the youngest world heavyweight champ in history. He was an unstoppable force, winning his first 19 pro fights by knockout. By 1988, Mike was undisputed champion, having defeated Michael Spinks in a stunning 91 seconds. At just 22 years old, the kid from Brownsville sat atop boxing's throne. The legend of Iron Mike was forged in blood, sweat, and knockouts. Behind the invincible facade, to outsiders, Mike seemed invincible, but internally he remained human. The trauma of his harsh upbringing lingered under his brooding public persona, but with dizzying fame came new struggles outside it. Tyson's turbulent personal life, abusive upbringing, and money problems caused issues. Though Cuss gave Mike discipline, his trusted mentor died in 1985, leaving Mike without guidance when he needed it most. Mike's turbulent marriage to Robin Givens quickly unraveled. His self-destructive tendencies outside boxing consumed him. In 1990, a distracted Tyson suffered a shocking defeat to 42-1 underdog Buster Douglas, shattering his aura of invincibility. Though Mike rebounded with title runs, he was never the same indomitable force following this upset. Do you think Mike Tyson's personal demons later overshadowed his boxing greatness and impact on the sport? The fall from grace. As the 90s progressed, many began to view Mike Tyson more for his erratic personal life than his brilliance as a fighter. His struggles outside the ring increasingly overshadowed his talent inside it. Legal troubles snowballed, from assault charges to rape allegations in 1992 that landed Mike in prison for 3 years. The tabloid drama never ceased, with public brawls and stints in rehab indicating an athlete spiraling out of control. The nadir arrived during 1997's infamous bite fight against Evander Holyfield. In a bizarre move, a frustrated Mike shockingly bit off a chunk of Holyfield's ear, leading to immediate disqualification. This shocking outburst cemented the public's perception of Mike as reckless and unstable. His fearsome legacy as heavyweight champ was becoming tarnished by antics, better suited to reality TV than the dignity of boxing. While still a formidable fighter, Mike lacked the laser-like focus in training and life that once made him unbeatable. Burdened by chaos outside the ring, he never recaptured the dominance of his early years. After retiring in 2005 following back-to-back losses that were unthinkable in his prime, Mike Tyson's stunning fall from grace was complete, from the penthouse to the doghouse in 15 turbulent years. Looking back, it's clear Mike was a tortured soul whose traumatic childhood left him unequipped to handle fame's glare. Nonetheless, his dizzying highs and shocking lows will forever make him one of boxing's most mesmerizing figures. Enduring legacy. Mike Tyson's pro career spanned 20 years. His unprecedented early dominance and sheer ferocity make him one of boxing's biggest stars. But he'll also be remembered for unfulfilled potential. Behind the fierce persona, we now see Mike was always battling demons from a traumatic childhood. In the end, Mike Tyson emerged from darkness to grasp greatness, if only briefly. Regardless of his undoing, the undersized kid from Brownsville stands tall among the ring's greats. Because for a glorious flash in the late 80s, Iron Mike made the impossible possible through sheer willpower. They say legends never die, and Tyson's against all odds ascent to the apex of boxing shall forever endure. His unprecedented early success and appeal showed that circumstances don't define a person. It's one's willpower and hunger to succeed. Mike Tyson remains a cultural icon because he represents the classic tale of the underdog overcoming all odds through nothing but relentless training and focus. Alright guys, that wraps up this underdog story. If you found this video inspiring, be sure to check out our previous video on the architect who built the Twin Towers. Don't forget to knock out the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Keep dreaming big and uncover the most significant stories with us, my friends.